Good day. We are carrying on with working in the chemistry laboratory. We've done parts 1 and 3. Now we're backtracking to part 2, and a lot of students find this part really fun. So the first thing is, we're going to be working with glass tubing. You say, why do we need glass tubing? Well, later in our package here, we are going to see that we need 3 pieces of glass tubing. We're going to have one that's 20 centimeters long and bent in the middle, so it's 10 by 10. We're going to have one that's 30 centimeters long, and this long part's 20, and this short part's 10 centimeters. Eventually it'll get connected by some rubber tubing, and then the leftover piece just goes in here, and so we end up with 3 pieces. 2 will be bent, and all of the ends will have to be what's called fire polished. So let's go back and say, what are we doing here? You're going to get a piece of glass tubing, not sure how long it is. Usually it's somewhere around 60 centimeters long. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have one of you cut it in half. And how you do that is you're going to take a triangle file. And the triangle file, you're going to put your index finger on top of the flat part, and you're going to go back and forth and make a deep scratch. That usually takes about 1 to 2 minutes. A lot of pressure, but not enough pressure to crush the glass. But it's got to be firm enough that you can make a scratch and you can feel it. Once you've got the scratch deep enough that you can feel nicely with your thumb, you're going to point the scratch away from you. You're going to have a thumb on the right of the scratch, a thumb on the left of the scratch, and you gently point forward. This diagram has them thumbs too close to the scratch. Here you probably want to be about 1 centimeter left, 1 centimeter right. And when we snap it, all going well, we get a nice straight cut. But you don't want to touch it. It's going to be very sharp. Glass is good at cutting things, so make sure you don't touch it. Later on, we will do some fire polishing to soften it. So once you've cut one in half, now you're left with hopefully a 30 centimeter piece, or 2 30 centimeter pieces. And now your partner is going to do the other cut. And that other cut will be done to leave a 10 centimeter and a 20 centimeter part. And you just do it the exact same way. File, make a scratch, point away from you, snap it. Now you should have your points. Again, do not touch the ends. Now, next thing it talks about is fire polishing, but typically I like to do that at the very end. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a lab burner, and we have to remember where the hot part of the flame is, above the inner cone. And for one of the pieces, let's say it's a 20 centimeter piece, we're going to bend it in the middle. And that means you're going to hold it in the flame and go back and forth with your thumb and index finger, rotating back and forth, gently, evenly heating it. Eventually it's going to get soft. And once it starts to droop, then you're going to bend it to a 90-degree turn. As soon as you've done that, don't touch the bend. Just put it on your countertop and leave it alone. Then your partner's going to do the other bend, and that's the 30 centimeter piece, and you're going to bend it at the 10 centimeter mark. Same procedure, rotate back and forth, and all of a sudden it's going to droop and make your 90-degree bend. Do it in one motion, often near the flame is best, and if it's not perfectly 90, don't try to adjust it, because if it cools down and you try to adjust it, you're going to break the glass. Now, last thing you have to do is you've got to heat the ends, and heating the ends, that's going to be the fire polishing. So once your glass tubing is cooled from the bending, you're going to grab it and you just put it in the flame, and you go back and forth, and I would do it for 10 seconds, and it should just round things, soften them a bit. I'd certainly, if you don't think it's done enough in 10 seconds, do another 10 seconds, but don't do it any more than that, because if you heat it too long, you may melt the end and it may seal, and gases won't be able to pass through there, and it won't work. So once you've fire polished all 6 ends, then you're going to tape those all together, put your name and your partner's name on the tape, and you'll put them in the appropriate bin. But it's a lot of fun to bend the glass to make tubing that looks something like this that we're going to need in parts 4 and parts 5.